Yo, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here. This is the Air Jordan 34. Can't believe they're on 34. That's a big ass number.
About to be my...
Your age?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought girls don't like to say that stuff.
I look good for my age.
So first off, big thank you to Jordan Brand. I greatly appreciate not only getting sent a pair of these shoes, but we were also invited to a very small event in Beaverton at Nike headquarters. It was basically the first look or the first unveil of this shoe. That experience was really crazy. For one, it again was a very small, I don't want to call it intimate, but like it was just small. There was a lot of overseas media, and then there was a few US media members. There was Bleacher Report, ESPN, Slam Magazine, which is awesome. Like I've always been a big fan of Slam. I mean, we still slam kicks. I mean, come on, man. Throwback, super throwback. Jay Jones was there, and then us. And like, I was like, why am I here? 5 US outlets. That's insane to me, because I feel like WearTesters doesn't belong with the other people that were like mentioned in there and stuff. I mean, we're talking about ESPN. ESPN.
WearTesters has been mentioned on ESPN.
We have been mentioned on ESPN. That was really cool. But I still don't feel like we belong in that.
You're a very humble person.
Nah, it's not even that. I feel like we're like very, very mom and pop.
We are. Hey, Pops.
Right, I'm the pop. And so it's like, I don't know, I never feel like I belong in those types of settings, but I really appreciate being included because I think look, I'm gonna bring this back one more time. Do you know where the poster is for this?
Yeah.
Can you grab it real quick? So for a kid like me, I'm not a kid anymore, but this is from this magazine. This is not only really, really awesome, but this was the debut of the Air Jordan 14. This thing was right next to my bed. I slept in a bunk bed at the time. This was right there next to my pillow. I would just be like, yo, this is so dope. And I loved everything. I loved everything about the shoe. I loved looking at every piece of it, studying it. So for that kid to be invited to Beaverton, Nike HQ, for this shoe, now, just a quick recap on the actual trip, now that I can talk about it. We went to this place, okay? First, we went to the DNA lab, which is like a warehouse. I briefly spoke about this. Which video was it? Oh, the Jordan 12s, the black and royal ones.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we went to the DNA lab, and that place is literally an archive of everything that you can think of. And they had everything there. You weren't allowed to take pictures. It was so crazy. And then they brought us into this room, okay? And this room was essentially my whole childhood. Like it was the entire lineage of the Air Jordan line, from the Converse, like North Carolina days, to the Nike Airship, to the Air Jordan 1, all the way to the most recent model, not these guys, but the model before it, so the 33. And it was in this big room, just outfitted, and it was such a dope space. Inside, we met up with Gentry Humphrey. A lot of you guys that are, or at least have been into the brand for a long time, already know about him. But he had been working with the brand since 1989, which is crazy. The Air Jordan 4, my favorite Jordan of all time. So he's been there for quite a long time. He jumped over to Nike Sportswear. He was working on the Foamposites. Now he's back with Jordan Brand. And basically he just kind of like ran us through the lineage of the shoes. And like he picked like, I think there was 5 shoes, and each one of them was a significant change or evolution within just the Air Jordan line. And that also like helped propel footwear at the time. And I thought that that was really cool, even though I knew everything already, but it was really cool to hear it from like the dude's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like he was involved in all of this stuff. And inside this room, it was amazing, man. They had originals of everything, dude. They had shoes in there that like I have not seen in so long. I wish that some of these things would be retro. They have one of my favorites, the UNC Air Jordan 15. Just fucking love that shoe. It was so dope, man. There was concept sketches for days. The Bugs Bunny shoes, like the actual ones. I've never seen those in person. That was crazy. So the whole DNA portion of the trip, super sick. Then we jumped over to HQ. We walked into this room, and as soon as we knew what we were gonna go see, we just didn't know what it would look like. But as soon as we walked in, we see this thing. It was like suspended by like fishing line and stuff. This was the first time of an Air Jordan where, in a long time, where I looked at them and not only was kind of like, whoa, what is that? Because they all look kind of jarring at first, but I was immediately just like attracted to it. I was like, man, those look sick. I think that these are so sexy. Like it's a funky looking shoe, but it's also like, man, those are dope. The tech spec features on these things are crazy. Look at that traction, man. We got herringbone, and it's in just this multi-direction kind of like fan pattern. Reminds me a little bit of the upper of the Air Jordan 12. We did already play in these, by the way. Like, we got to wear test these. They have a brand new gym facility. Their old gym facility was already like super nice, so I don't know why they built a new one, but that one was even nicer. And inside there, like, we got to play a little bit of basketball. It was super fun. Blake Griffin came out because he's actually going to be wearing these. And not only did he come out, but he actually like played basketball with us for a little bit. He didn't play like hard or anything. He was like playing like maybe 1% of what he can actually do, but it was still fun. He passed me the ball. I dropped a dime for him. It was super dope, man. It was sick.
And
what?
You guys pounded it out.
Oh yeah, he gave me a high five. That was cool. It was just a weird moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say about it. It was like, I don't want to say it was like an amazing moment and stuff like that, because like I'm friends with, you know, like Langston and stuff like that, who happens to be teammates with them.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have not been on the same floor as an NBA player, but it was weird being like dished off, and he like ducked out like he knew I was gonna make that. Like, he was like, all right, peace. It was just a cool, like, 'cause I play at 24. We play with just regular ass people, so it was weird to be like on the floor with like an NBA guy. But anyways, we have wear tested this a little bit, and that floor was pristine, so take this with a grain of salt. But so far the traction was really great. I'm excited to take these to my normal courts where I play with normal people, where everybody knows your name, and see how they do on those settings. But this just looks, it looks awesome. Like, I really like the way that the traction looks. The tooling is super weird. That's the part where, I mean, just like you can see right through it. That might look strange.
I was gonna say, I can't see your eye, but I'm sure somebody does.
I was looking right at the lens though. I was peeping through this window into their soles. But the tooling is super crazy. We got a super lightweight Phylon midsole, and that kind of is like weirdly wrapped within and around this Pebax chassis. Pebax they've used before. If that name sounds familiar, it's because they use it on their flight speed system or their flight play system. So everything from shoes that Blake used to wear, like the Superfly line, to the actual flagship Jordan shoes with unlocked Zoom Air, and we're talking about from the 28 through the 33. All of those used a Pebax or Paybax, I don't ever know how to say it, but they used a plastic essentially, but like a specific plastic moderator plate that goes on top of everything. Now they've taken that and they've literally like blown it. It looks like blown glass almost. Now the great thing about this type of material is that it's very durable, it's very lightweight, and it has some, I wouldn't say elasticity, but it moves a little bit. So this area right here, it feels super stiff and all that stuff. It's got a ton of torsional support and rigidity, but you actually are able to, like, once you put your body in there, you're able to flex and move and run down the court. It doesn't feel stiff like something like the Jordan 32 or even the Jordan 33s. These just felt like super fluid and stuff. They do have a slight roundedness to the outsole and tooling, not like super like Kyrie level, but just enough to where you're just able to like roll in your stride and stuff. It's a super smooth feeling. And then the cushion system that they use, the heel is a very large volume hex Zoom Air unit, and then the forefoot is just this big freaking Zoom Air unit. You can see it through there. That red thing that you see poking out of this, that's the Zoom Air. And if this little plastic window wasn't on there, you would see the Zoom Air through there as well. That's the part that I thought was crazy, because like this thing looked like it's gonna, like, you step on it, it's gonna spit right out. That to me, I was like, what the hell? Like, I've never seen or felt. I've tried every type of Zoom Air that you can think of, from the max zoom units like the LeBron 10s to the articulated stuff like the 15-16s, the KD 9s, the original stuff that like the Air Jordan 14's original articulated zoom, all the way to the new I've tried every type and iteration of Zoom Air that you can think of. I've never felt Zoom Air like this. And I'm not trying to hype it up. The first thing that I did when I put these on and I kind of like did a little bounce on my toe, I was like, holy shit. Yo, those are bouncy. Super bouncy. I didn't think it was going to be because it's bottom loaded, but holy hell, man, you guys got to just try them on. I'm not saying to buy them, I'm just saying try them on. Wow. This is something that I think Nike just in general and its umbrella brands like Jordan brand stuff is very good at, that is like an underrated feature of them, is that they've been able to take this tech that is essentially old Air, and they're constantly able to take this one concept and then re-engineer it every so often to make it feel like something brand new again. And it's like, how do you do that? Like, how do you take something that's so familiar, like people that know Jordan brand or that buy Jordan brand products or Nike products, how are you able to take people that have been 30-year customers and you give them a Zoom feeling that you're like, yo, I've never felt anything like that before? I just think that that's a very underrated feature. Not all brands can do that. Now above all of that is a super lightweight material. Right through here, right this section, see-through. And then the forefoot section is very interesting. It's got a couple of different layers underneath it. Not only does it have the top layer of screen mesh, but then underneath that there is this woven material that's super strong, and it reminds me of like the Air Jordan 11, like the ballistic style mesh, but it's inside, and that would, like, the more force that you put on it, those cross hatching like a basket weave, they tighten up and they lock in and everything. It literally weighs like nothing.
It's
like,
a very light shoe.
it's the lightest Jordan I think I've ever felt, because Jordans are kind of like known to be bulky and heavy, especially the 33s. Like if we're just talking about the last model, this thing feels like a feather compared to that thing. The construction of the sneaker is very just different. They actually constructed the shoe like the way that they built the upper with the heel portion first. If you were, I tried to get a video of it, I couldn't. Like it was just like having a hard time focusing on that. But inside the shoe right there, the heel actually dips into the sneaker. It's like at the backing of a chair, and then they wrapped the rest of this and then kind of like seamed it on there. It's such a weird way to do things, and it feels really good on foot because it cups the heel area really well, and then this area like is supposed to tighten and lock down the rest of the foot. Now, one of my favorite things about the Air Jordan every year is being able to look at all of the little features of the shoe and seeing where they pulled from, especially with these latest models, the Jordan, what was it, the 31 through 34. They all have little callbacks that go back 30 years to their lineage. These guys, not only do they have some callbacks to the Air Jordan 4, which comes in the form of the Nike Air right there on the back, as does the tongue, but not only that, this shoe does have other callbacks to other Air Jordans that I thought was really cool. One of the most impressive ones to me was that they called back to one of my favorite shoes, the Air Jordan 15. I think it had, if I'm remembering correctly, because I don't have them in front of me right now, but I think it had like the model number, his birthday, his jersey number. So this one right here, it actually has something different. It says J4 to 34, which is obviously Jordan 4 referencing the 34s. The original Air Jordan 4 release date, which was February 1989, and then it has like a fast forward to 2019, which I think is just a really cool like little nod and all that stuff to its history and lineage. And then this little patch right here at the bottom, it's Braille. I don't remember what it says. It could say Jordan, it could say 34. They said it in the thing, I just don't remember. I'm sorry, this was like weeks ago. Oh, actually it's not Braille, it's Morse code.
Oh, okay.
So it's the dash and dots. Exactly. But that little tab right there, it's a callback to the Air Jordan 13. And then the overall just look, like this particular colorway specifically, this look calls back to a lot of Jordans that we've all seen over the years, whether it be team models or flagship models. It's got that split look. I just think it's so dope that they were able to put so much into the shoe while it being super lightweight and kind of like tech savvy. Not tech savvy, but like it's got new stuff in it, even though it's not new stuff. Now, for anybody wondering, the fit on these guys is true to size. Again, I will do an update on these guys. I want to really test these things out, and I want to play in them a lot more. I've been so excited to get these things back because they didn't let us keep them.
They held them hostage.
They did. They were probably like, no, I don't want anybody to leak these, all that stuff. Because what I do is I play at like I said, like normal like rec gyms, and everybody's always asked me what I'm wearing anyways. And if they saw that this was the new Jordan, they'd probably take pictures and stuff like that, because they do that with some of the like the weirder shoes that I wear. But they do fit true to size for anybody curious. They didn't give me a retail price when I was there, but once we find out that information, we will put it in the description box below. There's a whole bunch more stuff that I want to talk about with these. There's a whole bunch more, like I just want to throw it all up on you right now, but I don't want to make like an hour-long video, but I could. So instead, what I'll do is cut things short right now. We will do a performance review, so stay tuned for that. But if you are one of our WearTesters Discord community members, I'm going to schedule a time on Saturday to actually go through there, do a live like voice chat or live chat or whatever about these shoes. It'll be like an ask me anything type thing. If you are not a member and you wanted to find out what it means to become a Discord community member or join, you can click the link. There will be one in the description box, and it'll head you over to WearTesters.com where you can read all about it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I greatly appreciate it, you guys. I mean, we've been here for 10 years, so this is kind of crazy. It started with an Air Jordan, the first performance review on YouTube, the Air Jordan 2009. It's not ending with the Air Jordan 34, but it's still cool that we've been here for this long. Thank you guys once again, and until next time, guys, have a good one.